Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is my first video since forever, but basically it's my first video in 20 this year in 2022. And I just thought, let me do something special and document my braces journey. For those who are new here, welcome. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe, and also click on the bell so that you get notifications should we post a new video or a vlog or something. And for those who have already subscribed, welcome back. It's been amazing having you guys. It's been great getting feedback about our videos from you guys. Anyway, let me not make this video long. Like I said, I just want to talk about my braces journey. So anyway, let's get into it. My journey with my braces goes back to 2019. In fact, it goes back to when I was in high school. I've always wanted to have braces, and somehow I thought braces were very expensive. I won't be able to afford them anytime soon, until a friend of mine got her braces and she shared the cost of her braces with me. And then I realized, it's not so bad. Sometimes you end up not doing something because you start making assumptions. You just need to get the facts right. Either they're too expensive or they're not. And if they're too expensive, you start saving up, and if they are affordable, you can afford them, then go for it. And in fact, eventually, that's what I did. I did a lot of research after my friend had her braces, a lot of research trying to find the right orthodontist. There was also the conversation, I remember the conversation about whether I should use a dentist or an orthodontist. So there are dentists that also, install braces. But then from the research that I did, I was advised that you find that, well, I'm not sure, I have not had this confirmed, but it was just a word of mouth kind of a conversation where I was told that with dentists, the whatever transformation that was done with the braces, it's so easy for it to shift back. I don't know. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. I could be right. I don't know. But that's what I heard. And then I made this decision that I'll just go with an orthodontist. So I think the crux of this video is just for me to share how much I spent on my braces, to get this transformation. Yeah, and yeah, but I think, for starters, before I even tell you guys the price, let's get to see the before and the after of my braces. Okay, so here it goes. Probably have seen the before and after, and you are probably on some umihlali usuka kude. Umihlali has come a long way with the braces. That's right. I had a hectic overbite before my braces. I would, like, I remember I used to, because I had this overbite and I was not comfortable with it at all. Like when I'm sleeping, I actually adapted a position where I would, like, it was just it would just happen without, I just got used to it, where I would just always put my hand on my mouth because I was just not so confident about my overbite. But yeah, you guys have seen it, and eventually I accepted my overbite. But I mean, why accept something that you have control over, and so I just found out about the prices after my research, started saving, and yeah, so I started the journey. I found Dr. Amra. He is an orthodontist based in Observatory, and while I was doing my research, I would post on Facebook groups, either like multiple Facebook groups around Cape Town where I would ask people to recommend their orthodontist where they had their braces done. And when someone would recommend an orthodontist, I would even go as far as going onto their profile, on Facebook, just to see how their smile was like. Say, just try to find a picture where they like a pre and after an orthodontic treatment. And all the people that suggested Dr. Amra had a very, I mean, I could see that the transformation was just amazing. So I was set on Dr. Amra. So anyway, um, fast forward to the start of my treatment. I visited Dr. Amra's room in observatory. So the first thing that they did with me, they had to do some X-rays, so that they can get an idea. Like you may have seen in the before um, X-rays, the photos of the X-rays. You may have seen that. It's like X-ray photos. So that's where they got those photos. They took some photos. They had this scanner that went around my face back then. Anyway, yeah. And then after that, okay. First of all, for the X-rays, I paid 2,285, I think. Yeah, around 2.2k. That was for the X-rays, and then they had the X-rays. Then there was asked to come back. I think a week later or 2 weeks later. I can't remember. That was back in 2019. I think in September or August 2019. So before COVID. Anyway, so I paid the 2.2k, and then after that they said, okay, we know the kind of treatment that we're going to go with for you. And sure, and then I got now the prices for the actual treatment, after the X-rays were done. And and I have to mention that the prices vary, guys. They're not standard for everyone. I guess it depends on the severity of the structure of your teeth. So with me, I've heard that for other people, it can be more expensive. But for me, I do feel that my case was quite. I feel that it was bad, But I know that there's other people with teeth that are misaligned, more like extremely misaligned. But nonetheless, after paying the deposit doing the X-rays, then the quote came to. Okay, I can't remember the numbers, but this is. Oh yes, I remember. So the quote for the total treatment of the braces, the doctor said that the treatment would take 20 months, right? And the total cost with 32,500 rands, right? That's 32,500 rands. And the nice thing was that you don't have to pay that whole amount in full. I mean, what are the odds that you can pay it in installments? Because it's not so much of a risk, in the sense that if you say you pay half of the amount and then they put on the braces, what are the odds that you'll run away with the braces, So nonetheless, they said 32,500, and I have to pay a deposit of 12 and a half, which is 12,500 rands. And yes, that was the upfront payment. So that means that of the 32 and a half k, when I pay 12 and a half, then I'll be left with 20,000 rands, which I can pay in installments over the 20 months. What this meant was that I pay the 12 and a half upfront, the deposit, and then the 20k I will be paying it as 1,000 rands monthly over 20 months. And it felt like it's possible. Have you ever noticed how, guys, imali siyayitya, we chow money. You found that you'll be busy postponing your treatment, the treatment that you want, the orthodontic treatment, and saying that you don't have the money. But just go back to your budget. Go check your spreadsheet, or if you don't even have a spreadsheet, like your financial whatever, where you've got all your incomes and expenses, your monthly whatever, go check there, and you'll find that you do have some extra cash. So if you've been wanting braces, go check your budget. Go to your spreadsheet, or start doing something to to get an idea of your disposal, income or extra income. Anyway, so yeah, so 12.5K upfront, 1,000 rands monthly for 20 months, and yeah, so that's the plan. And then the question that I asked him was, I know there are people where they'll be told by the doctor that their treatment is going to be 20 months, but then the treatment takes longer than 20 months. Does that mean that I'll keep paying after that? No, it stops the payments. When they tell you that it's 32.5K, it's not going to change. It's not going to change. And if the doctor does not manage to complete your treatment by that period that he had set for you, you keep going to have your braces adjusted every month and at no cost after the 20 months. So that is what happened with me. But then, so with me, you find that some people, they wear braces, they'll have those metal braces at the top and the bottom. And for me, I did not want the metal. I wanted ceramic, like top and bottom. I wanted ceramic, and that is an extra cost. And I believe that. And then so the doctor gave me a quote, and the quote came to 4,500. No, it came to 9K, right, for ceramic on top. And then I was like, hey, no, that's a bit too much. And so I said, and then, but the Dr. Amra also said, you know what, Mihlali, you hardly, if you're not comfortable with the metallic braces, just get the ceramic for your top, ne? And not get ceramic for the bottom, because even when you're smiling, you hardly smile like this, where it's going to show the bottom. You're like, that's how we smile, right? So yeah, so I went for the extra ceramic at the top and metal at the bottom. And so the ceramic, like I said, were 4.5K for 4,500. And in fact, I also negotiated that, okay, fine, I don't have the 4.5, so can I maybe pay half of the 4.5 this month and then pay the other half the next month? And I think I paid the 4.5 over 4 months. Sometimes you just have to negotiate these things, lula nje kanjalo, just negotiate with yeah. And so the treatment began after I paid the 14.5 deposit. Treatment began, I think it started in September or August 2019. And then oh yes, just to mention, I know that there was someone who asked on Instagram how painful the process was putting on the braces, getting them tightened when I go for my monthly, or in fact I didn't even go for monthlies. I went every 2 months. So I have to say that it's not painful at all to put on braces. It's just uncomfortable. And so I just went on to have them put on. Didn't feel any pain. Before I forgot this part, yes. So they did the x-rays, and then they said that I'm going to just need to do some tooth extractions. So they extracted, not the orthodontist actually. I had to find a dentist that will do the extractions. They took out 40 were taken out. They were taken out because with the overbite, they will have to push some teeth in, so they needed to make space for pushing the teeth back in. So I had, those were not, they were quite sore, hey. But yeah, that was one process, and then I went on to put on the braces. Anyway, fast forward. One thing that I forgot to mention, my medical age. So braces are considered as a cosmetic treatment. Yeah, but so in medical aid, I but I do know that I've got one friend who also has braces, and she somehow managed to find a dentist. In fact, I've got two friends. They somehow managed to find an orthodontist that takes some of the that deducts some of the costs from your medical aid. So I think if you're looking to go for that option, you can keep researching and find an orthodontist that does that. I was set on Dr. Amra. And anyway, so okay, okay, fine. So 20 months. Okay, so the process of putting on the braces was not so. What guys? Not so. But then the doctor said that when you get home, about like 5 hours later, you'll start feeling some pain. You start feeling the pressure because the braces would have been tightened. Braces. The point of braces is to pull. So yeah, and then he just said just get some pain tablets. So I would just get myself Mybelan just on that day, and then over the next few days I would just have soups. It was a choice. In fact, I was still getting used to that kind of pain. It was not even that much of a pain, but it's just an uncomfortable pain where you just don't feel like eating, having bread or having inyama and all that. So I also having all these kind of foods. So I would just have soups. And I have to say, guys, at some point, having braces on helped me manage to lose weight, because I would have those days where I just don't feel like having solid food, and I would just go for soups, and then 4 days later I'm used to the soups, and I did not want bread because you'd find that bread would get stuck. But yeah, it was not painful. And then I think, you know what, guys, let me just leave it there for now, because I just don't want the video to be too long. If you guys have any further questions, because I just want to leave it here, because this video was mainly about the cost. I just wanted to focus on the cost of the braces. And so the last cost that I had to pay today when I went to take off the braces were for the retainers. The retainers, I think they were 4,800 or 4.9, so basically 5,000 rands. That is just a once-off payment. They also did some x-rays, so the x-rays were also included in that cost. So about 5K for retainers right at the end. Okay, so while you're doing you in your braces journey, you could just keep putting some money aside, some 250 nyana, save it right for the end. So yeah, that was my journey, guys, and I have to say that I feel that the money that I paid, all those savings, they were worth it. I mean, look at it. I love it. It feels so good. It feels so good. Anyway, if you guys have any questions, you are more than welcome to drop your questions on the comment section. And please do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Okay.